It's time for Damn Good Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Shelby Clement. From corporate executive to CEO to entrepreneur and the founder of Damn Good Marketing Live. This podcast is all about digital marketing, building a business you love, and creating a brand that's authentic to who you are. So if you're ready for honest, raw marketing conversations that you will not find anywhere else, let's freaking get it. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Damn Good Marketing Podcast. I'm super excited to kind of dive into this one. I have made the decision to get off of social media. And before you freak out, a lot of you probably already know this, but to get off social media from October 21st to October 27th, because I just really needed a break. And it wasn't necessarily the fact that I'm not okay, I'm not mentally stable. It's not that. It's the fact that I'm exhausted. And since I didn't take a legit break after DGML, I literally kept going on a hamster wheel and I just felt like my body was I am an overload. I decided that this would be good, number one, for my mental state, number two, for my body, and number three, for me to get some other crap that has been piling up done. Because we don't really necessarily understand how much social media consumes us until we leave the app. And so day two, I'm like, holy crap. It's not necessarily that I would say I'm addicted, maybe borderline addicted, but in the sense of my habits in between certain things was to check the app. And I'm seeing that because I knew if I was going to fully get off these apps, I had to delete them from my actual phone. So I've deleted them and I've seen obviously the different times that I've wanted to get on. But I really do feel with my brand and the way that I'm trying to let everybody know that the power of the pause is so, 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 so important. And for you to be able to pause while social media is still working for you. Now, I will tell you this, even though I'm not on social media right now, updating you on stories or engaging or whatever that may be, we did build out a strategy and my content in order for it to run while I was offline, enjoying the things that I needed to do. Number one, be present with my family and my kiddos. Number two, really hone in on things like, where is SCM going? Where is the personal brand going? What are we going to do for DGML next year? And when you have all these distractions in front of you, you can't necessarily make these decisions clear with a clear vision or a clear mind or whatever that may look like for you if you have so many other things going on. So I decided that let me take my own advice. I'm going to take a pause, not just after 8 p.m. I'm going to not be on social media for 7 full days. And y'all, I've already day 2. I have realized so many things. I developed the power of the pause to really encourage all of you and to give you permission that you don't necessarily need to be on social media all the freaking time. And we know this, I've already said this, that when I developed this is when I gave it up for Lent at 8 p.m. at night. Well, now I really want to dive into this and do this once a quarter, maybe once a month, whatever that may look like, to just show you that even though you do walk away from social media, it can still be done and still work for you. And I know that I haven't really talked about this on the podcast, so I feel like I was going to give you some little bit of tangible things for you guys to listen to this episode. But if you hear me speak in person, I really do talk about the power of the pause and what that means, and we break it down and all the things. So I figure that this would be something really juicy to talk to you about today. This past weekend, I went to Fresno, California, and I just spoke at my girlfriend's event, and it was absolutely powerful. The people that she brings into the room and her community they're just so amazing. They're empowering women that are chasing a dream, that know that they were made for more. Hence why her conference is called She's Made for More. And I had these great conversations with women that are really good in their zone of genius, and they really are good in what they do and how they offer it and all those things. But the thing that they struggle with the most, we went around the room and everybody had to give their 30-second spiel of who you are, what is your problem, what does your one ask? And I'm learning very quickly that having an unapologetic ask is totally okay. And I totally believe in that because if you don't ask for it, you don't necessarily know if you're going to get it. And so a lot of them were going around the room saying they need help with social media, and everybody literally kept looking at me. As one, I was a speaker, but two, I was in the back of the room. So you get 30 seconds to speak on a mic, no interruptions, people just go around the room, whatever. So I'm like, okay, this is obviously something I need to talk about. Obviously I was going there to talk about social media anyway, but I was like, let's talk about the power of the pause. And how do you position yourself as an authoritative figure on social media, but doing it easy? And don't worry, that I just basically told you what I've developed the pause to mean. It means position, authority, using social ease. And so I want you to learn and to understand that as a social media manager and the owner of an agency, I am letting you know that you can pause and utilize social media with a strategy and let it work for you instead of you working for it. We live in a world today where we're constantly going and we're constantly moving and everything is constantly so fast paced that we feel like we have to be feeding this quote unquote, what I call it, the monster, and it never sleeps, which is very true. If you really look at social media, it never sleeps. It's always on, always, all the time. Somebody's posting something. You can always see something. You can always engage with someone, talk to someone, whatever the case may be. But our mindset is truly based around the fact that we let these platforms dictate us in what we do in our every move. And so my goal here for all of it is to, one, tell you that you don't have to be on it all the time, that it still is working for you. Like right now, I'm day 2 into not being on social media at all. And even the Zoom calls I've had, I've just let people know, like whether they're my clients, whether it's a coaching call, whether it's just a friend, hey, I'm off social media, XYZ. And they're like, we know, but you're still posting. And I'm like, yeah, because we have a plan. And so as long as you have a plan, you're fine. So let's break down what the power of the pause means. It really does mean position yourself as an authoritative figure while utilizing social media with ease. Like literally, it's that. In order to stand out on social media this day and time and going into 2025, you have to, one, act like a human, and two, frame yourself as an authoritative figure in your industry. So what does that look like? It means you are the go-to person that they trust, they know, and they like in order to use you for the product or service that you are offering. And so how do you do that? And what are the things that I've literally understood and like learned from in the power of the pause? And that is 4 main things. Number 1, it is clarity. So when you take a step back and get quiet and you eliminate all the noise, because truly social media is just highlight reels of everybody in perfection, and they're showing you the good. Only most of it is the good. We're getting better at like showing the ugly too. I mean, I show a lot of it, but like just know this, when you are on social media so much and you're consuming it so much, you're falling short to the game of comparison. You're falling into imposter syndrome. This is also where you're like, I just want to copy what they're doing because it's working for them, but you don't necessarily know if it's going to work for you. So the only reason that you can do that, or the only way that you can do that, is to take a huge step back and really gain that clarity of like what that looks like for you and your business. What are your goals? What is your mindset? What is your why? Why are you doing this? What service or product are you offering? What personally are you willing to showcase for them to feel like they know you and that makes you relatable? This is a huge piece of component when you are moving forward in order to build out a strategy, make content, build a community, or even collaborate with people. You have to understand where you are, where you're going, what is your why, what is your vision. You have to get so clear, like so clear. If not, it's going to be a hamster wheel. And what's going to end up happening again is you're going to hit burnout and you're going to be like, holy shit, Shelby, this episode helped me 0. So if you can't take a step back, get silent, literally go lay in the grass if you need to, turn your phone off if you need to, take a pause from social media, delete the apps, whatever that looks like. I want you to journal. I want you to ask you, what are you doing? Why are you even on social media? Is your business need to even be on social media in the first place? So that's number 1. Number 2 is when you get that clarity, you are going to realize, number 1, if you're in the membership, it's going to make it easier. But number 2, once you get that clarity, the content that you create for your business, for your brand, for you in general is going to become so easy because now you understand what they need, not what you need, what they need. So what is the problem you are solving? What are the emotional triggers that you're hitting for them in order for them to buy? Because people only make buying decisions emotionally attachments. So like when you think about the person that you envy or you look up to, or why do you love them so much? What connects you with them? What makes you buy from your favorite influencer or your favorite brand or your favorite shop? Or why do you do XYZ, coffee shop, whatever it is? Why are you loyal to them? What are they doing in their content that is pinpointing or triggering those aspects in your life that's going to make you pull the trigger? So you have to ask yourself that. So take yourself out of it, remove it. Because a lot of times what I see on social media is you are trying to be the forefront of your content. So meaning it is not about your consumer, it is about you. When in reality, you cannot make it about you. Obviously, yes, don't get it confused. I want you to be personable. I want you to show your face. I want you to get in front of the camera. I want you to talk. I want you to do all these things. But in the same sense, you have to put your face in front of the camera, but talk about and pinpoint the things that are going to make it move the needle for your consumer to buy from you. So what are they struggling with? What are the pain points they're dealing with? What is going to make them buy from you? Those things are the huge things that you need to actually understand with your clients in order to build out content. How do you do that? You have to understand your avatar. Where are they hanging out? What do they like to do? What makes them buy XYZ? What type of music do they listen to? What times are they on these platforms? How are they engaging? Do they like to comment? Do they like to talk in the DMs? Are you building a relationship with them? Like these things matter when you build out your content because it allows you to feel the hook. What type of hook is it going to take for them to come in? What type of meat do I need to put in there? Like what are the details that I need to put in there? Do they like a long caption? Do they like a short caption? Do they like video? Do they like carousels? Whatever that may look like, you have to figure that out. And all that comes with trial and error of understanding, 1, what are you doing? So clarity. But number 2, understanding your demographic and who they are and where they are. Don't try to put yourself on every single platform because that's just not going to work. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to be like, you're going to be talking to everyone and you're going to be talking to no one. Okay.
Number 3, when you understand your clarity and you understand your content and you're like, holy crap, this is finally clicking and it's making it easy. Like all these things are happening for me. Your community is going to literally become the most savage community you've ever built. Meaning they are going to become super fans, because if they become a super fan, they will always buy from you. If they always buy from you, they will tell your friends about you. You have to understand this too. When you are posting on social media, not every time they see your content, they're in the buyer mindset, which means they don't have to buy every single time. This is just giving the perception of when they are ready to buy or when they know someone that is ready to buy that product or service, your name is the only one that comes up. So truly, that is what you're building your community to do. That is what you're building your community to help you do. It's basically building a small army, advocate for you when that person that they know or when they are ready to buy from you. And so like when I say this, like a lot of people are like, Shelby, well, if I post this content, it's going to ruffle feathers. I'm going to lose some people in my community. Goodbye. They were not going to buy from you anyway. They're not loyal to you. They are not a super fan. They're there as a lurker. And truly, we all have that. I will tell you this, the moment I got really clear on what I wanted to do and the content that I started creating, and I started getting very, very freaking real with my community got so loyal. It was insane. And it really makes my heart happy because, like, first off, for the first 3 years, I was doing it wrong. It took me 3.5 years to figure it out, to hit rock bottom and say, like, this is what I actually need to be doing right now. And now it's just so clear and I love them. I love having conversations with them. I have so many people that say, the only reason I buy from you is because of the conversations and the personability you have with me in the DMs. And that is how I've built my community. So even being off for social media for 2 days, first day, yesterday, I went into a spiral because I was like, oh my God, people are going to think I hate them because I'm not responding to DMs or I'm not doing this or this. But I also have the right to give myself grace and to back up and say that the people that are loyal to me and that understand who I am knows that me taking a break doesn't mean that I'm psycho crazy, hitting rock bottom, never coming back. There's a problem. They know that I'm taking care of myself in order to preach the things that I preach for you to do. Because if I didn't do it, why would you trust me to tell you to do it? Boom. Shakalaka. Anyway, when you make this, so there's your first 3, clarity, content, community, you then have formed such a community that can leverage one another. So what does that mean? Collaboration happens. Holy crap. Like the power of collaborations. Like I've learned to build my business solely on organic social media, not $1 on ad spend. And truly what has happened for that is I've learned what my community loves. I've built loyalty and I've also leveraged the power of collaboration. Meaning if I collaborate with someone or I tag them or we go live together or we do an actual post collaboration, they are not only in front of my community, but I'm in front of their community. How can I help you and how can you help me? When you build such a powerful community, the collaborations are freaking endless. Endless. And I'm going to give you a 5th C, what I figured out, because like truly it's one of my staples, is consistency. Y'all, if you aren't willing to be consistent in the clarity that you get, in the content that you create, in the community building that you're doing, in the collaboration aspect, if you're not willing to be that 5th little consistency, you might as well hang it up. Because if you think that posting for a week or a month is going to actually move the needle for you, I'm very, very freaking sorry. It is not going to happen that way. It's definitely not going to build that like trust factor for someone to buy from you. So if that is your mindset and you want instant results, I understand that we live in a world at 100 miles an hour, if not faster, and you want that instant gratification, that is fine. Then go pay for ads. Or you can't even necessarily make ads work for you if you don't have an organic base. So pause, take that back. I don't want you to even listen to that. Delete that from your memory. If you aren't willing to be consistent for 6 months, at least to a year, the needle will not move for you. The needle will not move for you if you're not willing to commit that time in order to put in for your business or your brand, to advertise, to build that brand awareness. What are you doing? What are you doing? So I just want you to know this. When you position yourself as an authoritative figure, people will know, like, trust you. They will buy from you. They will love you forever. They will never sway from you. You have to be willing to really put yourself out there. How do you do that? You show behind the scenes of your life. That is you in business. That is you maybe as a mom. Don't worry. You don't have to show your kids. Literally, you can show what it's like to make lunches in the morning, or a story that you might have to, like, for example, I talk about doing homework for kindergarten all the time. And I feel like, how do I run a business because I don't even understand this kindergarten homework? You have to be willing to give somebody something that they can hold on to that makes you even more relatable than you already are, so they can see you as the human behind the brand versus just a brand, because people buy from people. And if you don't do that, then you are no different than your competitor. I'm here to make this easy for you. I'm here to give you the permission to pause, take a step back, and really ask yourself, what the hell am I doing with my business, with my brand, and with my life? And if you can't take the time to do that and give yourself the grace in order to figure that out, then I don't even know what you're doing in the first place. This was a very quick, straight to the point kind of podcast. I'm here for it. I love you all. I'm actually loving this being off social media because I'm getting clarity. I cannot wait to come back with more ideas and more frameworks for you. I have so many freebies I'm developing in the back end of this stuff too. So like I'm super freaking pumped. But y'all, as always, if you like this episode, like, comment, and share. Remember, show up as an authoritative figure in your industry if you want to set the bar or set yourself apart from any of your competitors. Until next time, you guys, let's freaking get it.
And that's a wrap on another episode of Damn Good Marketing Podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. Make sure you comment, review, share it with a friend. Come back next week. And until next time, let's freaking get it.